So what you're looking at is the map Ruinberg. Ruinberg is a city slash open map. There's a big giant city, as you can see in the west, really compact, very, very narrow streets, but you have this big field that you can work with out in the east if you're a more mobile tank. So on the map, you have the courtyard, which is the F12 area, also called fountain because there's this gigantic fountain in it. You have the edge, which is the edge of the city. You have Delta Village out in the E and F90 section. It looks sort of like a Delta symbol. Then you have A and K lines where you're really going to be watching for artillery and where artillery usually comes from. Well, if you're driving a heavy tank, you're going to want to spend your time in the city. The city, especially in the F12 area, really good place to put your armor to use. If you don't have good armor, you're not going to spend your time in the city because you can't be mobile. You can also go G1, H1, maybe D1, E1. Just sort of peek around the corners, shoot the enemy team as much as you can. Watch out for shots that may be coming in from field. You can also go the corner around the F3 line. That's not as rewarding, but you can definitely get some good shots there. If you're coming from the south, G3 window is a great place to be, especially if you have something like an American heavy tank with that crazy mantlet on it. You just hide in the window, and then as soon as an enemy pops out, you shoot them, they try to shoot you, they bounce, you laugh, and it's all good. If you're driving a faster medium with not a lot of armor, you're going to head out to Delta Village. That's all the way in the east. You want to be in the E90, F90 area. The reason being, all of these buildings make for really good brawl fighting, but you have to be really mobile to make sure that you keep the buildings between you and the enemy until you're ready to block them. As soon as you see that they've shot or anything like that, peek around the corner, put a shot into them, and then hide again. Don't get greedy. Don't try to roll around into them, because if you do, that's when you're going to get punished. So light tanks, spend your time in the field, especially in the beginning. The field around the ridge at E78, really strong spot to just poke up, get spots, and then run away again. If you're coming from the south, you have all these buildings that are ruined, really 7-8 line anywhere south of the G line. Great places to grab cover. If you're in the north, you don't have as much agency, mainly because that's just a huge expansive open field, but you can run sort of into Delta Village behind all your medium tanks and then pop back. That's when your mobility becomes key. When you see Delta Village start to fall from the enemy team, if they're going to be wrecking your team, definitely bail, go north or south, whichever side you come from. But if your team is doing the wrecking, come over and start shooting guys in the back. They're going to be too busy with the enemy team to actually notice what's going on. So artillery, hardest class to play. No matter what anyone says, no matter how many Cheetos you eat, it is a really hard class to play. So you're going to spend your time either in K or A line, depending if you're south or north. If you're in the south, pretty much all of K line is fairly open to use, but you're going to be taking shots up streets or through buildings. So you got to remember to stay really mobile. If I was coming from the south and I was trying to shoot into town, K7-8 line, shooting all the way into F12. If I'm coming from the north, I would spend more of my time in A45 shooting into Delta Village. If your team can't bait the enemy team out of their buildings, you're going to be staring at no shots for a long time, so be patient. TDs are tough to call on this one. If you're using heavily armored TDs, like the Germans, one of my favorites, I like playing the German TDs in the DE lines at the one line, and then the GH lines on the one line as well, mainly because you can take a shot, it'll bounce, it'll be glorious because that heavy tank's angry and you're going to punish them in the meantime. If I'm playing lighter ones, think like the Scorpion, Hellcats, something like that. Go out to the 0 line, post up in a bush, don't move. Just let your camo net turn on and then keep shooting guys. If you have 6th sense, great. If you don't, get it. As soon as you're spotted, leave. This map, be ready to be flexible. Keep an eye on Delta Village, even if you're in city. As soon as that starts to fall, bad things happen. Hopefully it falls in your favor and then bad things happen to the enemy team. That's to be seen. This isn't really open, easy map where you can get away with a lot of mistakes. A single mistake costs you the game. This is Trevzor. Good luck and have fun. I'll see you on the battlefield.